Hi, welcome to part 2 of the LTS podcast. Remember, these podcasts are posted, the audio version at least, are posted every Tuesday of the week, unless otherwise told. And there's a video portion of this podcast that is on YouTube. So if you'd like to follow that one, follow the links in the description. So, see you then. Marcos out. Dear listeners, welcome to Out of Office.
Yeah, dude. Like, I could be 100% wrong, but I remember reading it like maybe a month ago or so. And
boy living his best life.
Yeah, dude. I mean, acting career, a child actor acting career, and then obviously a professional race car driver. That's crazy.
A movie actor too, as well. I think.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think he starred. I don't know
like
if you remember.
James Bond series.
I don't know if it was. I think it was like Agent Cody Banks, right? When he kind of starred with Amanda Bynes or something like that.
Something like that, but I know that it was like a James Bond situation that he went to camp.
Yeah, like a Nickelodeon James Bond.
And they would go to camp and take care of bad guys.
Yes.
Imagine the logistics. So, we're taking this low key. I can imagine that like a school or something like that getting tax write-offs for training kids to become agents, and the logistics, if you will. That's like rattling my brain.
That sounds
right
like a new isekai anime waiting to happen, bro. Basically,
with the tax logistics back end. That's
dude,
an anime.
All I'm waiting is for it to get animated by Madhouse or something like that, or A1 Pictures or something.
A1 or Ufotable.
Or Ufotable, exactly, bro. But what's it called? So yeah, going back to like all these other things that
nostalgia
potentially might get what's it called? That have the right ingredients to potentially be something that people look for.
Better ingredients.
Yes, Papa John's, bro.
Yes, sir. You know where I was going with this.
Yes, sir. And not for nothing, but I ate pizza earlier.
Amen, brother. Amen. Amen.
What's it called? But yeah, like things like whiskey, dude. Things like
liquor.
And yeah. There's people that collect wine.
And they don't drink.
I'm pretty sure they do. I don't know if they hold on to it and they pop it open for a special occasion, but I know people collect wine, they collect art, they collect whiskey, they collect watches, I think I've mentioned it before, tequila, what's it called, bourbon, scotch. I mean, there's a bunch of things, and again, it's these little groups that push forward for this. And then when I guess that virality comes around, or that fire catches on, and people want or look for or are like, yo, this is cool, I want to do something along the lines to that incorporates this, then I mean, people, again, for some it might be weird, and for others it might make more sense to them because they're attracted to these things, or they find pleasure with it, collecting it or looking at it, or or I guess you can say being part of that atmosphere, or that that culture that comes along with it. I mean, for God's sake, there's people in Japan that emulate or imitate cholo lifestyle, or the way they dress in the culture
in the Japan. 90s, or like the 70s, 80s, 90s from over here, in the modern day over there, right, in Asia in general.
Yeah,
like in China,
and again, they look at it as a cultural
phenomenon
that they want to be part of, and
brands came out of that over there. Yeah,
I don't know, but you're probably right. Same thing
cholo
with
brands.
Yeah, exactly. Like
cholo swag.
Same thing with things in Mexico. There's certain things that trickle down from the States down to Mexico that are very prevalent nowadays, or are very sought after, right?
I lived through one, actually, and with my personal experience, I lived through one specifically. Shoes.
Oh, which one was that? Shoes. Okay.
Nike's soccer shoes specifically was a super niche thing. Shoes, soccer
Okay.
shoes. Their brand was TOTL. No, Total 90. Total 90. I don't know if you ever
Okay.
saw them over here because
I
like,
don't remember.
they were
seeing
indoor and
that.
outdoor brands, and like
Okay.
I don't know. And you already know people were like in our small town over there, where you like
Okay.
our families from, like school kids. Again, over there in middle school, I was blessed enough to try public school and private school, so I was able to see both sides.
Yeah.
By the time I was in private school, I was able to see the people that had the economic means to buy themselves shoes.
Right. To
I'm
actually
like,
be able to purchase it.
to make that, like, or have their parents, because freaking middle school, right? So it's a ride, and I'm like, I guess I didn't care about shoes. Even like my thing, I don't know if it's the same thing now, but I remember back in the day those Merrell shoes. That was the thing that really caught my attention, with the gecko kind of thing in the bottom, because we would eat through shoes with the lifestyle that we had. Like, even though I was going to private school, I was still helping my grandparents, all those things, going in the street market, all those things. And
Right.
like, that was my
You
lifestyle.
were without your shoes, basically. Yeah.
Again,
definitely.
in 1 month, I was out of a shoe. I'm like, God dang it. Like, there was one point, like, it's not that I was suffering anything. It's just the lifestyle that I had, that my brother, my middle brother, looks at, hey, Marcos, what? Your shoe is peeling off the sole. What? And remember the Dragon Ball scene where he lifts his toes and his shoes are literally like flapping off and off, on and off?
Yeah,
that
I do remember
happened
that.
to my shoes on the left and right. So like I was like a chancla, boom, 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 boom. Like, oh damn, I didn't even notice that. And they were like sneakers. Like, I'm gonna have to buy shoes. Boots were good, but not good enough for my kind of lifestyle as a growing kid, because I was gonna outgrow the shoe like that, right? So get sneakers and then eat the soles off, or get them from your dad, right? Your dad that lived over here, right? That did his work over here. Oh, get him some Merrell like hiking shoes. Okay. And those lasted longer and were optimized for the lifestyle that I was going through. Even though I was in private school, people like, again, private school, you'd have to go to afternoon classes, right? You have morning classes and afternoon classes to do extracurricular activities. In those times, I would just go with my jeans, all those things, and take my Merrell shoes, because right after that, I'd go to the street market. And they're like, hey, why are you dressed like a city boy and a farm boy? Like, you know what I mean? Because I had those hiking shoes.
You had both of those styles going on.
And like, why are you rocking city and not country, like hiking? Because I do that. oh, because over there they're like, oh, kids playing indoor soccer, having those like samba kind of shoes. Hey, if it works, it works. Knock it. You do you, boo. And they're like looking at my shoes like, bro, it's like, what, you're going to the mountains? No, I'm going out of town and going on dirt, doing things, lifting, going left and right. These are helping me, and I need them to be waterproof at least a little bit. Like, yeah, okay. And you know how the Vibram shoe brand, all those things, that they didn't know that was in their world, but it was my world, having those kinds of shoes.
Right. But I think also, Marcos, that kind of takes into we would have to take into account I guess the cultural differences, as far as us being born and raised in the States, specifically in the Northeast, and then going and having that kind of culture shock with them, with the people around us, basically, because even if they knew about it, perhaps they weren't economically, financially stable enough to buy something like that for them. They might have looked at it as a luxury instead of a necessity. And even though they had to go to work and needed the type of footwear that you were buying.
No, this was in middle school. Me talking like
No,
how kids
obviously,
be at in middle school.
I think, but again, I think, and this has happened to me before, whether I was, when I was a kid, and even now when I'm as an adult, when I go over there, and obviously, you run into people that don't, unfortunately, maybe they're not in the best of economic situations, or at least you're at a higher economic situation than them. There might be certain things that you maybe take for granted, or that they're good quality, like footwear, right? In this case, as an example, right, that older person looking at you, being a younger person, having the possibility to have that type of footwear, they're like, dang, yo, this kid is rocking something that I need, because I actually got to go bust my hump over there producing flowers, right, or at the farm, or XYZ situation
in the street market, yeah,
or they're working in the marketplace, on the streets, as mechanic maybe, or as a whatever their work, whatever their work is, right?
Yes.
And whether we were kids, or when we're adults, we might have something that they might find like a nice luxury that they would like to have, because it would be very helpful or beneficial for them, for their workplace, right? And I've come across people like that, and if I'm able to gift them something, well, by all means I'll try to do that, because obviously I'm able to go and acquire something of similar value, or the same thing, when I get back here, where that person perhaps isn't able to get their hands on it, and if they find it, it might be out of their reach as far as economically speaking, right?
Yep.
So I think that's one of those cultural things that happen, and even though that now the world is a lot more globalized as far as like the trade and commerce,
commerce.
and things are easier to get into people's hands via Amazon or whatever the case is. Still, there's certain places around the world, and even people that we frequent, that might not even know to buy certain things because they didn't know it exists, or they're wary of it because they don't know the quality of it, right?
They don't have a review.
Exactly. It's not exactly. So maybe they can see somebody with Tim's on and be like, oh, those look nice. Yeah, maybe not the most comfortable work boots, right? I might want to go and get some Red Wings, or maybe some Wolverines, because they're a lot more comfortable on my foot. Or they're a lot better quality of boot for the certain type of work I'm doing, right? So again, these are the things that you kind of especially living in the States, you kind of are able to look at those reviews. You get to test it out, and also another thing that you mentioned, I think it also has to do with your particular style, one, and what you feel comfortable in, right? And a lot of people don't feel comfortable, not everyone, but there's certain people that might not feel comfortable dressing a certain way, right? And maybe for some, style takes precedence over comfort, and there's other people that do vice versa, comfort over fit, right? Or how they look, or aesthetic. And
what's aesthetic versus what's the word? Functionality.
Right. Aesthetic over functionality. And what happens is that at least for me, I tend to think that it would be nice if you are able to find that something that's not only comfortable and functional, but also aesthetically pleasing, not only for people around you, but more so for yourself, because
we're social creatures.
Yes, and unfortunately, for what it's worth, a lot of the times people will judge you based on the first impression they have of you, right? So if you come through, and
specifically middle schoolers,
I would say even from age 0 to to an adult, and not because I think people need to be laced with silk, and golden, belts and whatever the case is, right? But I think there's something to be said about dressing, at least for me, dressing for the occasion, right? So maybe, if I'm gonna go out of to the wilderness, I guess you can call it, right? Or out to the less populated areas where there's more rocks and dirt and less pavement, blacktop, I would definitely trade in my sneakers for some boots in order for me to go not only comfortable but functional. Yeah. Exactly. Yes, but if I'm going to go to the city, I think it also makes a lot of sense for you to not only be functional, but also be a little bit more well put together for the occasion that you're going to go in. I would not think it wise for you to go to a, I don't know, maybe a nice restaurant, or maybe a function of some sort, like
an
interview,
interview.
a interview or a wedding. If you're gonna go through with Tim's, some cargo
Just
pants,
making a statement, sir.
yeah, and maybe on a oversized flannel, and maybe some some sort of fitted of some sort that
Flannel,
maybe
fitted flannel,
doesn't
fitted
it doesn't
flannel.
exude that you're there for an interview, like you were saying, or maybe gonna go to eat with a special someone at a nice restaurant, or say you're gonna go to court. You have to go
Oh, Lord.
in front of the judge, looking like you're gonna go work on the railroad all the live long day isn't maybe the first choice you should think about when you're going to go do these functions, right?
Yes, sir.
Again, my belief, dress for the occasion, right? Again, you don't always have to wear dress shoes and a 3-piece suit, but also you don't always have to look like you're gonna go do construction work as well. So there is that balance,
A happy medium.
right? And again, you might feel comfortable, but I think you have to make that assessment and ask yourself that question: is what I'm wearing right now appropriate for what I'm doing, or what I'm gonna go do? And if you assess yourself and you make that, or you ask that question, then hopefully you would make a better decision. Now, I'm not gonna say go out there and revamp your whole closet, but what I will say
Within
is
your
that
means. Within your means.
exactly, there's certain pieces that you are able to
Todo con
buy, and
medida.
yeah, and then you can actually use that like we were alluding to earlier about that kitchen knife, something that's gonna pay for itself, and you're gonna get more than one use out of it, and it's potentially going to help you to dress for the occasion a lot more times. So that's all I'm saying. I think those are the things that we need to take also into account, because it's really important. I'm not suggesting you go and wearing Jordans for every occasion. Like, I'm not
Or
suggesting
Timbs,
you wear Timbs
to everything, yeah.
or dress shoes for every occasion, or the penny loafers, right? No,
Now, listeners,
obviously not.
Alan is also not saying that you should carry your kitchen knife, for everything.
Exactly. Maybe you want an ECD knife, right? Your everyday carry.
ETC, everyday carry. Yeah.
I like me, I like to carry maybe like a nice pocket knife,
Bro,
you want to,
within the law.
of course, everything has to be
You know,
in
Your
by the law,
fisticuffs
by the
for the
book.
gun show.
Right, you want to carry maybe a flashlight in your book bag or something like that, because you never know. You might be the type of person that, like Marcos, that carries a parachute.
Paracord. No, yo. I bought 100 feet and I've used 50 of it already since I bought it.
Already?
Yeah. I had to buy
Oh, dude.
2 extra 100 feet, 200 feet extra.
Interesting, bro.
I bought
Like,
the
yeah,
camo.
the-
I
yeah,
bought the
yeah.
camo, and 2 black. I've gone through black and the camo. I've gone through 50 feet of camo since I've been working over there.
Dang, bro. Like,
And my
I
boss
would
is
say,
like, hey, we got to do this. I look at my boss and like, hey, boss, I can tie this up. What? I can do it with tape, because my boss is a heavy believer of duct tape or Scotch tape, if you will,
really? That's
the
interesting.
one that you do packaging.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
Boss, you're moving a hand truck that weighs at least my weight or more. Let me tie it up. Let me help you here. You sure? Yeah. Here. Well, how are we gonna cut? Oh, where'd you get the knife? And then it's like, where'd you get the knife? Don't worry about it. And I just tie it up with a nice little beautiful knot. Like, and I say, and he's like, where do you learn to tie? I worked in the street market, good sir. And I just tie it up with the market style.
Like, I've tied a few hogs there, sir.
No, my grandpa beat it into me.
Oh, I imagine he did. Good for
Grandpa
him,
style,
dude.
like, hey, with his eloquent language, like, hey,
Yes, of course.
this is how
Very
you tie stuff.
colorful language.
There was
I would.
One line that my grandpa said. He said, I beat it into my first son. I'm going to definitely beat it into you, my grandsons, my grandchildren. I'm like, yes, grandpa. And he said, mind you, he left at 15, so take that with a grain of salt. I'm like, God damn, don't be that cynical.
Oh man, that's great, yo.
Yo,
You gotta love
they're built
the old
different.
timers, man. The old
They're built
timers yeah, they had ways of doing things and saying things that, dude, like.
He's been around the block too. Well, he was
Of
around.
course, bro.
He
But
used
I
to
think-
be around the block.
But I think I mean, not going to extremes, but I think some of that is needed
It's
in this time
nurture.
and age, because I mean some of this, like the softness of people sometimes, you know, people getting so offended,
Tiptoeing
a critical
Of what you're
thought,
trying to say.
you know, of disagreeing with someone, they find it so offensive. Like, it's like, dude, man,
My mom
yeah,
was there too. Like, hey, he's like, yo, mija, yeah, I'm gonna teach your children, your sons, how to properly tie a rope. Okay, I might hit them. Yes, Dad. Please do, and teach them all. Okay, come on.
and
Oh,
again,
like, oh, damn.
and again, like, everybody has their own way of doing things. Like, I don't think it's necessary always to beat something into
He said I
a
might.
person.
He said it
But
might.
again, sometimes it's necessary, you know. People find again, this might be a hot take, right, of mine, but you know, people think it's funny when a little kid starts smacking their parents in the face, and everybody laughs, ha ha ha, the little kid smacks you. All right, everybody keeps laughing until that kid turns, you know, 30 years old, and the kid smacks their parents in the face because they never taught them not to do that since they were little. So when they smack them, it's like, okay, yeah, now laugh that one off.
No, what you're talking about is the lack of respect. Like,
Again, but
yeah,
if people don't teach the kid, whether it be a girl or a boy, from an early age to respect people and not make it seem like it's a joke for everything, you
or
know,
given that you're given respect, you gotta earn it.
right? So this is the reason why I'm saying sometimes it's necessary for people to, you know, show or learn them some manners. Let's put it that way.
It's literally in the Bible.
Yeah, definitely. And
Teach
I
them
think-
young right now, you know, and then you're not crying later. Take
Right,
the tears as a
right.
little kid, and
You
you're
know,
not gonna be crying later.
It's not a verbatim there, but yeah.
No, you know what
no,
I
no,
mean.
no, obviously. But again, I think, yeah, to the point you were coming to, yeah, it's like we would be better off if we did do our due diligence, or did our part at least, in helping shaping the minds of these young people with being more respectful and being mindful, and not just being like, oh, it's like, oh, you have to it's not only necessary for them to say, well, you have to earn my respect. Yeah, obviously, but it's also, you know, you should show respect in if you're younger than the older person, as a, you know, as a vote of or as I guess you could say, a showing of that respect. And if that person doesn't
Show by
reciprocate,
leading. Yeah, there you go. Yes, sir.
if they don't reciprocate, then you're able to say, well, they're not reciprocating.
example.
Maybe it should be that I don't respect them. Maybe they'll understand a little bit better. So
It's a case by case basis there. What you're understanding there.
exactly.
But look what he
And-
said. He said, "Hey, mind you, my first son left the house at age 15 because of all, you know, misunderstanding. So
Yes,
I've learned,
differences.
I've learned from that.
Differences, right? Let's call it that. But yeah, Marquitos, I think going back to that point, it's like, yeah, me personally, I do really think that making that assessment and asking that important question, am I dressing for the part? You know, it is something useful that we should do before, you know, hopping out the crib, because a lot of the times people just hop out the bed and go outside into the world like
In
an
the cargo,
accident.
in their PJs.
Like an accident, dude. Like, there's no they don't take any pride in their self-image, and
That's a discipline thing too. Don't
and
get
their
me wrong.
hygiene. It's like, and I'm not saying, dude, you know, you can't sweat when you work out. Obviously, you work for the you dress for the occasion and you do your thing, you know. But those are certain things that you kind of have to, you know, learn, right, and be taught. And there's
By
even
a
if you-
senior, by another individual.
even if
though,
you're,
that's-
yeah, even if your parents are not in that, you know, don't have that information to share with you, but at the same time, I guess you could say, you have a fountain of information online nowadays that you're able to learn these things, even if it's not your mom and dad teaching you these things. But again, like sometimes it's like people just hop out of bed, walk out that door like an accident. You know, it's like, dude, on caps.
That says a lot.
It does. It speaks volumes of how you perceive yourself, right? And again, some of those things I would say, dang, if only someone, you know, would be nice enough to teach them, show them. And obviously people might be a little reluctant, and people, again, it's very difficult nowadays because everybody feels offended about everything. So
don't you tell my son how to, you know, don't you tell that to my son, then you tell him, because you're helping him for the future. Or you're my daughter, yes, you're gonna.
Yeah, and not everybody takes that as a positive, right? They take it as a negative, and they don't want to hear it. So I mean, you know, you can always voice your opinion, and you learn with whom you can voice your opinion, at least, or maybe you want to share a bit of knowledge. But it's not everyone. Obviously, there's I think, what's that saying, Marcos? I think you've mentioned it before. It's like when the student appears, or when the student is ready to learn, the teacher will appear.
Oh, yes, sir. That's a good one.
So it's like, those are the things that you start picking up on, right? So whether it be fortunate or unfortunate, but it seems to me that a lot of times it's those people that are wanting or needing that help or that push, that sometimes they kind of walk into or stumble into that need of wanting to know or learning these type of things maybe later in their life, and it's a little difficult for them to catch up, right? But it's not impossible, and that's something. Yes,
an example with my baby brother right now. We were gonna eat lunch, right? And he's like, oh, he saw this obviously in the TikTok, right? And he was saying, oh, so what do you, Marco? He's like, Marcos, when you see a cup half of its capacity, what do you think of it? Half empty or half full? I said, okay. And I said, no, what? Oh, like it's a point of perspective, right? Of whatever situation, your point of mentality, you want to see it as a half. It's a metaphor, a metaphor for something. I explained the concept of the cup, and he responded, no, I see the cup upside down. So if anything, your view is skewed on life. If anything, like this says anything mostly about you as the individual, not whatever problem or situation you're faced upon. Like he was basically telling me the joke of the TikTok, but this says a lot more about the individual that's giving you the TikTok than whatever the joke was. You know what I'm trying to say? As a person, I wouldn't say as a quote unquote mature individual that's been quote unquote around the block. I don't want to say it but that's what my understanding is.
Right.
Even though it was a joke, it says more of your stability, your perception of life, whatever it may be. It's always, backwards or upside down versus whatever the problem may be.
I think the age difference also, we need to take account of the age difference, right? Because a lot of the times, I know he was probably trying to make a funny, make a joke out of the situation to try to get his point across, or just try to, have a convo with you. And okay, he could say that, but at the same time, it's like,
that means he needs guidance.
There's that happy medium, like we were talking about earlier. You can take things super to heart, super seriously, and there's certain things that, dude, it's not that deep, right? So we have to find that happy medium where it doesn't skew your point of view of things, but you're taking it seriously enough where it's like, well, it's this, right? Or perhaps, oh, that's funny, ha ha ha, right? Not taking yourself too seriously. But I think it has to do with the age, right? I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, the maturity level of your little brother and you are the same. It's not, and I have to take that into consideration. And being a older brother, you can be like, all right, little guy,
I'll give you my insight. I'm not gonna knock you. I'm not gonna disrespect you. But this is my 2
obviously,
cents.
All right, you can be dismissive to show, okay, not that funny. If you find it funny, okay, you can be dismissive and basically let them know, okay, guy, it's not that funny. But because this is what happens, little kids will always be little kids, and what's their nature is to ask you about everything until they get to that age of adolescence when they think they know everything.
Yeah.
And it's crazy, dude. And some people don't grow out of that stage. You know, they from the moment they can construct or compose a sentence or string words into a sentence, they'll ask, big brother or big sister, mom or dad, what's this? Why is this? How is this happening? Why is this going on? And it's always a question, and you try to be as clear and concise as possible to try to teach them something or show them something or explain something to them. And then they get to that stage when they become adolescents, right? They're tweens and even into their teen years, and then there's no more real questions, more of like, oh yeah, I know. No, I know.
Don't you want to talk about it? No.
I know.
Nah,
and it's like,
yeah.
and you would hope that you allow them to make the mistakes that need to be made while they're able to lift or get themselves back up, dust themselves off, and understand that maybe they didn't know, and that letting them fall down and scrape their knee, fall on their face, was necessary for them to learn that valuable lesson, so that in the future, hopefully, they don't repeat that same mistake again. And some people are better than others on picking up those social cues, right? And some are a little more hard-headed, and it takes quite a while for them to kind of like get into the groove, right? And sometimes some people just don't grow out of that stage, and they can be 30, 40, 50, and they know everything. Apparently, they're so sure of it, and when things don't go their way, they kind of left there questioning themselves. Well, what the hell's going on? Why isn't things the way I thought?
The way that I see it, yeah.
Because the world isn't the way you particularly see it. And again, you perhaps didn't learn your life lessons the way you were supposed to in order for you to kind of deal with the reality of the situation of life, that maybe you're not the best looking, maybe you're not the smartest, maybe you're not the fastest, maybe you're not the strongest, but there's other things you're really good at, and maybe you should focus your attention on those things and try to better yourself in others, and understand that you aren't the center of the universe, but also you are a very important person. People love you, and you can compliment other people around you. And again, these kind of truths are something that you kind of have to learn, but you also are taught in one way or another by your peers, by your family, by your parents, by your older brother and sister, your younger brother and sister, and perhaps the workplace, maybe your mentor, but
or social media content consumption.
And
sometimes
I would say that's the last place you want to see or try to get or glean
with the
information, because sometimes the people they go to aren't the best for them, right? And what we're trying to do, at least what I'm thinking, is have people critically think, not just be yes people.
co-signers.
Yeah, exactly. Just because one person does this and they think it's silly or it's a joke or a gag or funny, doesn't make it funny to everyone.
God dang it. Yeah, I feel like personally attacked here.
Well, no, more so like talking about your little brother, right?
Oh,
and
dang
I
it.
I love your little brother, but again, he thought that something or a joke that some rando person that he doesn't know whatsoever on TikTok did was funny. He found it funny, and he automatically thinks he's gonna go up to you that you're how old? You're how many years his senior?
30. Like double his age.
Exactly. He assumes that you're gonna think it's funny, and when you kind of explain things to him, and he's like, you totally don't get what I'm talking about, Marcos. It's a joke. You're like,
nah, bro, this is just perception of an individual. Like I just blab out.
You should have told me. You should have told me you're trying to make a joke.
Because I freaking analyze the concept as
right.
the entire whole, not the cup itself.
Right. And again, maybe it also, that kind of says a little bit about you, where you kind of have to understand that you're not talking to a contemporary, Marcos. You're talking to a little kid. So maybe you shouldn't take whatever they're asking 100% serious, right? Maybe you
Technical.
maybe
to be
30
technical.
or 40 serious, and the rest maybe, let's see what the kiddo has to say. Maybe he's trying to be funny. I don't know. So yeah, that's again something you have to pick up on, these social cues where it's like, yeah, my little kid brother that's 13, 14, 15, yeah, what's going on in his head, right? It's like maybe he's trying to be funny. Okay,
Trying to
let's see.
socialize.
Yeah, so again, I wouldn't take it super seriously, but then again, this is the reason why I say it's kind of concerning to a certain degree with the younger generation picking up their social cues or their social acumen with the social media, where it's like
The concept of memes, you and I, like, I'm guilty of it, unfortunately.
and more than social than memes, I would say, like, their actual, what they find funny, what they find to be perceived as art, what they perceive to be
Artisan.
music. Yeah, because even in those things, right? Because younger people, or people that are younger, tend to be more creative, just because they're still at that stage where people haven't kind of deterred them of their imagination. They're still capable of I want to say,
They have less in their plate, if you will.
right, they haven't been molded to what reality perhaps is, so they're a little bit more flexible.
Yeah,
As
they don't gotta pay
like they
taxes.
don't mind drawing outside the lines and being like, okay, this is creative, right? So
They
no
don't
one has
consider
stifled
it
the
creative.
creation.
It's just their thing.
Yeah, they
doing it.
haven't been stifled in their creative way of thinking or doing things, so that's a good thing. But at the same time, you do have to kind of lead them sometimes, so they don't get deterred or kind of thrown
Focus
in
it.
the wind and basically left to their own devices of trying to formulate what's right and what's wrong, when there's
And
clearly
this is how they follow Tate.
yeah, well, again, there's certain things that he says that
Yeah.
are common sense, and I wouldn't say 100% of what he says is truth, but I wouldn't say what he 100% says is false either. And to a certain extent, this is what I'm saying. As a older brother, or as a mom or a dad, we should be the people, or if that's your little brother, or if that's your son, or that's your daughter, you as a grown-up should be the person instructing this kid to do things the correct way, instead of him or her going to the internet and filling their heads up with things or morals, principles, and ethics by people that you have no clue where they stand, right?
Yes,
And
sir.
a lot of the times where they don't even know where they stand. And these are the people, it's like literally the blind leading the blind. And that's what you're trying to avoid.
Yes, sir. Because you're like, even though this person is so glamorized in social media, he's not living your life.
Yes.
You're not in the same shoes as he is.
Right,
So even if
exactly.
you want to emulate him, that doesn't guarantee you're gonna get the same results.
Exactly.
Like, there's some saying like, fake until you make it. Okay, respect, but this requires logistics and all those things to even do that. You're not thinking about that, bro.
It's like yeah, fake, like fake going to a car dealership and fake your way getting a car, like, or fake your way getting
Good
the
luck.
mansion. Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
until it doesn't work.
If it works, good luck. Let me know about it. But if
Yeah, dude.
9 times out of 10, you're gonna have a bad day.
Exactly. And yeah, bro, but to your point, like, I mean, I wouldn't take my little kid brother like super serious, because I know he's a little kid, and obviously his maturity level isn't quite where mine is, and it's not like I'm gonna take him super serious, like, oh my goodness, it's the end of the world, my man said the cup is upside down, oh my goodness.
Me just coming in my head, right? Like,
It's like
mind
universe
explode.
shattering. You're like, oh my goodness, how did I not think of this? It's upside down.
Yes,
Oh,
and he's like,
man.
it's a joke. I'm like, sure. And like, again, this
It's
is
like,
a
so-
product of my upbringing. Yeah, it's just part of my upbringing.
If you're the type of guy, Marcos, that I think you are, like, so you're basically saying that you're right side up, or are you upside down?
There you go.
It's all a matter of perspective. And it's
Amen,
like, come
brother.
on, dude. It's like, no, it's not that serious.
Now the
what are we
better
doing?
question: got milk?
It's like, oh, well, how many ounces in that cup? If it's a 12, well, what if it's a 20-ounce cup? Is it still half full? Because if it was 20 and it's 12 cup and you filled it up, I'm like, dude, it's not that serious. It's not that serious.
No, it's just like literally off the top of my head. It triggered me. No, it triggered a way of thinking, a mental way of proceeding. I guess it's like base default, analyze the situation. Don't think of it as good or bad, but just think of it as like, what can I learn from this? And even if it's a joke, I know I'm not. I personally know that I'm not a good jokester, but I try to practice it every day. Like right now, got milk. Like
bro.
It's a matter of perception, practice, experience, and try to have a good time. Because at the end of the day, you're your own critic.
Definitely, bro. Yeah, man. What's it called? Oh, we're switching up topics a little bit, bro. We went a little hard on that subject.
I mean, we went deep with Tate's nostalgia and morals.
Dude,
we're the fantastic duo. Remember?
yes, we are. I was gonna ask you, dude. Have you had donuts lately?
No, last time I had donuts a little bit over 2 weeks. I had bagels.
Nice bagels, yes.
And,
actually, I had a bagel yesterday, I think it was. Yeah, yesterday I had this nice sesame seed toasted bagel, cream cheese. I went to Dunkin' Donuts, and the reason I asked this, bro, and by the way, the bagel was delicious. It went well with my cold brew coffee.
Yes.
The reason why I ask is because since we're as of the recording, this is February, and obviously, one of the celebrations, at least in the States, is what's called Valentine's Day, and usually places like Dunkin' Donuts and other places get into the festive mood and have specialty donuts, I guess you can call it, right? And like heart-shaped donuts and
thematic,
cream this, jelly that, and I was curious, do you knowingly that stores like a Dunkin' Donuts and other places put out those limited time donuts, do you find yourself going like, oh, I would like to taste one of those specialty or limited time donuts or something like that? Or are you more of like, no, let me get my classic glazed donut or my classic coffee roll or something like that?
Oh, if it's, I'll buy it alongside it with my coffee, either hot chocolate or coffee, and my donut or bagel. Like, I'm a bagel main. And
what's your favorite bagel, by the way? I'm sorry to cut you off.
I try to keep it simple with a cinnamon bagel.
Okay.
With
cinnamon raisin bagel. Okay.
Cinnamon raisin with butter.
Oh, buttered bagel. Okay.
Butter
no cream
bagel.
cheese for you then.
No, not always, but when I do, I butter it up. And
yes.
But what else? Butter, and that's my main. Coffee and bagel. But if there's a special, I'll go for the thing. Like, I've gone through a couple years with that when that was on, but it never called to me. But I would occasionally. I partake occasionally, in the seasonal. Again, their marketing has to be on point.
Yes,
their marketing has to call to me.
Yeah, no, definitely, bro. Like, I really enjoy what's it called, like Krispy Kreme donuts, especially when they're like fresh, nice and hot donuts. But the bagel, obviously, I love me a good bagel, bro. Toasted, or even if it's untoasted, if it's a really good quality bagel, it has like that nice chewiness to it. It doesn't need any toasting.
It's an acquired taste, yeah.
And there's people that like it that way. There's other people that absolutely need the bagel to be toasted in order for them to eat it, because it's like, oh no, come on, you have to toast it because that's how it tastes the best. Well, I mean, everybody has their taste, right?
Yes, sir.
And with the cream cheese, right? And for me, like, my go-to is the sesame, but I definitely I'll enjoy a cinnamon raisin or even a plain poppy seed or everything. Those are probably like the
I have to
last
sit down for those, man.
Those are like my last two choices, and just because I know that even with the sesame seed, but I like the I guess the nutty flavor that the sesame seeds give to the bagel, that I really enjoy. Where the everything and the poppy seed on top of it getting stuck in my teeth. And I know the sesame does too, but I think the sesame makes up for that with the added bonus flavor or layer of flavor that it gives to the bagel when it gets toasted. So that's why I prefer it. But I think the poppy seed and the everything is good. It would be my last choice, but I think it's a little messy. That's all I think about that.
Yes.
And what's it called? Oh man.
What coffee would you buy if you were going to buy your favorite bagel at the
usually
shop?
For coffee, it's either like a Americano or a cold brew or a nitro brew. Like those are like the ones
Jesus.
Those are usually the ones I pick. Like I've said before, typically I don't do milk or sugar. It's usually black. Now, if I do get some sort of like, I guess, a made drink that has coffee in it, I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to getting like a macchiato or maybe like a cappuccino. But like if possible, I'll either get like a coconut milk or oat milk. Usually, those are like those substitutes I would do if given the choice, obviously. But if I just get like an Americano, whether it be iced or hot, you know, no milk, no sugar, and for my other choices, definitely the cold brew, or the nitro brew. Like usually those are the ones I would go for. My question to you now is,
yes.
Yay or nay for making sandwiches with bagels?
Yay, of course. What's the one with the fish?
One?
The salmon, the lox.
The lox and bagels. Oh, dude, yes.
Yes, sir. Cream cheese and like the cream cheese. Has like scallions.
Yes. Oh,
and
dude,
a touch of salmon.
Dude, are you a fan of like flavored cream cheese or is plain your jam?
It has the scallions and maybe some jalapeno peppers. That's my like with the salmon.
Bacon bits
toasted. Yes. Okay. And toasted. And now, I never told you, the coffee. For me, whenever I go with my basic bagel of a cinnamon raisin, it'd be like a regular, nothing fancy, just like a coffee with a touch of vanilla, no, hazelnut, hazelnut, and that's it. And maybe sugar, but not really sugar. Mainly the hazelnut is my go-to with whatever sweetener is there. And then if I'm sitting down, like you were saying, like the everything bagel is my number 2. But if it's either I'm on the go, I gotta eat, and coffee, have a nice day, let's go. But if I know, hey, we're gonna go for some bagels, wanna have some bagels for breakfast, guys. Wanna get in? What do you guys want? And we'll bring it over and just eat it at home. I'll have an everything bagel with cream cheese and salmon, the lox and bagels. Like, yes, sir. But don't get me wrong, Dunkin' Donuts has a good game with that. Like, they have a good variety, but it's those little deli shops in the morning. You know how some deli shops has that variety? That's the place. If I could do the combo of having the Dunkin' Donuts coffee and having the bagels from your local shop or something like that, I'd go for that. But you know, that's if I can. My main default, always a cinnamon raisin with butter.
Yes. I like. Not that I'm not a big fan of getting like a bagel and butter
and the seasonal donut. You know.
Right. Yeah, definitely. Like, not that I'm not a big fan of like the bagel and butter option, but I much rather get like the cream cheese, just because I in my mind I think it's a lot more substantial, at least for my stomach. Like, it feels like I feel a lot more satisfied with the cream cheese bagel combo instead of like just butter and the bagel.
Butter and jelly.
I do enjoy like having a nice cream cheese. And or do you do grape or do you do strawberry? Because I do grape.
50-50, depends on the mood. If there's strawberry, I'll try the strawberry. If there isn't, I'll go with grape default.
Usually, yeah, my default is cream cheese grape if I'm in the mood for that combo. And but yeah, usually it's just cream cheese. And like I was gonna ask you, since you do enjoy like the flavored cream cheese, like the jalapeno and the chives and stuff like that.
Amen, brother.
I'll definitely do like the bacon bits. I don't mind that. I don't mind the jalapeno one is really good, I think, as well. I know there's other ones like sun-dried tomato ones. I think it's also pretty delicious. And obviously there's other mixes, but personally, like those are my go-to, like just the plain cream cheese. I don't really, not that I don't enjoy it, but I try to stay away from whipped cream. Whipped cream cheese, I mean. Whipped cream cheese. I'm sorry. Just because I think it's just a lot of air and a lot less product, and they still charge you for it, right? For that.
I mean, they're charging for
yeah. So they charge you for the same price for less of the product. So I try to steer away from the whipped cream cheese. And yeah, dude.
What's your basic donut if you were to go to Dunkin' Donuts?
The French cruller. The French cruller at Dunkin' is usually the one I go to. I think my second choice would. Yours is the bow tie?
Yes, sir.
Oh,
it used to be the
nice.
bigger
Yes.
one back in the day, but now it's not.
Okay. Like I can go for a glazed, or I can do like a chocolate donut. I think those are really good as well, but those are like second choices. Like my go-to would be like that French cruller, because it's nice and light, airy. I think it's perfectly sweetened. It's not too much.
Is that the one that has like the spiral? When
Yes.
It's in the, yeah.
Yes, exactly right. Like I think it even though maybe people might say that, yo, Alan, that's not even a donut,
basic,
dude. Yeah, no, they probably might not even consider a donut. Well, it's in a donut shape, so I'm going to say it's a donut. And yeah, like a second option. Yeah, right. And the second option for me would probably be like a glazed donut or a chocolate sprinkled donut, or even just like that double chocolate donut. That's probably like a third choice.
The sprinkled and the filled inside.
If it's a jelly filled donut, that's like maybe my fourth option, jelly filled.
There's one that's like with white cream and it has like the sprinkles on top.
The Boston cream donut, I mean?
Boston cream, there you go.
Yes, those are good. Maybe for me that's like a fifth or sixth choice. Like not for nothing, but it's like I think it's too decadent, at least for me. It's a little too much. I don't mind eating the little munchkins, you know, the donut holes.
Yeah.
I think those are pretty tasty. Like it's just a nice little.
You can buy like a box, yeah.
Yeah, just a little bite, a little pop of flavor. You know, a little donut. You get to mix and match it. Yeah, you can pop one in, and it's like maybe you feel a little chocolate donut, or a little glazed, or a little what's it called? Cinnamon or whatever or the powdered donut hole. Those are really good too.
Oh yes.
Yes.
I'm like, what?
Yeah, because you know how they're assorted. They have different ones. Like I think those are tasty. As a little quick snack as well. So you don't have like you have variety, but you don't want to commit to one donut.
You know it. That one is when you're going with the squad, like your brother, your mom, your dad, and your baby brother, and like, hey guys, I brought some little bites. Let's have some coffee. Have a nice day. Let's go. We're in the road trip or something like that. Like while everyone's sitting down, we're chowing and going on and doing our thing.
Yeah, definitely, dude.
Ain't no thing.
And what's it called? I was gonna say, bacon, egg, and cheese on a bagel, or sausage, egg, and cheese on a bagel. I know I'm dragging this combo.
Are you a bacon or sausage main?
I can do either or, bro. I can do either or. You know what I like to do though? I like to get an order of the hash browns and place it inside the sandwich.
I haven't done that. I have not done that. That's an interesting look on that.
That's just me being a fat ass, bro. That's just me being a fat ass, man. I mean, it's not an everyday occurrence, but you know,
but when you do,
whether it be the bacon, egg, and cheese on a plain bagel, or sausage, egg, and cheese.
That's a good combo. That's a good combo.
Yeah, and then I'll stack all the little hash browns. Right, I think it's like 5 or 6 in order, and I just place them inside the sandwich, and I just one packet of ketchup, just one, and
Don't
yeah,
want to be
that-
too excessive, you know.
exactly. That's breakfast right there with a nice coffee. Like, or
My
I'll
question
do
is, do you
like
eat
hot
this
green
at
tea.
the shop or do you eat this at the car or at
No,
home?
no, I don't want people seeing my fat assness. I hide myself. I hide myself in the privacy of my own car.
Like I
Okay,
imagine
look
you
at me being a fat ass.
like you sit down at the coffee shop, you're sitting down,
I
like
feel
open
ashamed.
everything up.
It's like I
Don't
feel
look at me.
ashamed. Don't look at me while like tears are rolling down my cheeks. Like, oh no, why am I such a fat ass?
Nah, you bought it. You bought it with your whole cold hard cash, man. Nah, what's my weirdest thing that I've done with the food? Now that you're making me think about that.
I don't know, dude.
It's when I go to a diner and have like breakfast or something like that, and they ask for a sunny side up egg, right? And they give you the egg with the home fries and all those things. I'd eat with a piece of toast. I'd put the egg on the top of the toast, right, and suck off the yellow, the yolk.
The yolk?
Yeah, I'd suck it off first, and then add a little bit of ketchup and eat that. That's my weird thing. Like why not let it drip? Like, no, I don't want to make a mess. I want to eat every single drop.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, you don't want to waste the yolky goodness, I guess, the richness of the egg yolk.
I put it in a piece of bread and
Yeah.
delicioso.
Yes. I know what you're talking about.
That's my quirky thing.
Yeah,
And I'm
sopping
not
up the
There you
yolk,
go.
of course.
any
Oh,
chance
that-
I get like in the diner.
Yeah, that makes sense. To be quite honest, dude, I think whether it be like an IHOP or whatever pancake house, or even like the diner, whether it be like a breakfast item like pancakes with home fries or
Egg.
hash browns, definitely eggs over easy. At least for me, eggs over easy, and bacon sausage links, the pancake or the waffle. I try to have like the eggs like close to the potatoes, so that way they kind of like mix together, so like I'm not losing any of the egg yolk and to your point, right, to try to get all that richness, and like I'm not trying to waste it.
I put it on the bread like as if it was my tacos, like my tortilla.
I see.
Eat
Okay,
it and then eat a bit of home fries.
Right. Yeah, the reason why I do I like to have the eggs over easy by the potatoes or like in the same plate is just so that when I see, because usually, and I don't know about you, but whether it be a diner or a like breakfast pancake house or an IHOP, whatever the case is, right? Like sometimes they don't season your potatoes, or they don't season your eggs so that you can season it yourself to your liking, right? Which I appreciate. So I add the amount of salt that I think is necessary, and definitely the amount of pepper I think it's necessary. And then obviously, my my ethnic roots take over, and I add the Cholula hot sauce or something, or
You
a little-
always never leave your house without one.
Well, I don't know if you've gone to the IHOP. They usually have the hot sauce there for you. If you ask for it, they usually have it.
It's like, don't worry, cuz, can I get some from the back? No worry, cuz, here you go.
Funny enough, one thing that has happened to us when I've gone out with my family to go eat breakfast at one of these places is that if you build up a good rapport with I guess the servers or the cooks in the back, a lot of the times, a lot of these places have Spanish-speaking workers, right? Whether they be Mexican or from another Spanish-speaking country, usually they'll be like, "Oh, would you like some jalapenos, sautéed up a little bit?" And then they bring you a little plate of it. Dude, clutch, my guy, clutch. And it's happened
That's
like
some
maybe
good customer service, man.
yeah, like it's happened like 1 or 2 times when we've gone, and it's always a blessing, and we always try to hold it down with them with a nice tip for them.
Yeah, no,
And,
they're earning it. They're earning
Yes,
that.
of course. And like remembering right now, like going to a diner, I usually, not usually, but on the off chance that I'm feeling like I want a T-bone steak, I'll order it, and obviously eggs over easy as well with some home fries. Always clutch. And I think last time they also gave me like toast to go along with it. Dude, That's money, bro. It's super good. I mean, it's it's a heavy ass breakfast, but dude, and I think I've ordered it for like dinner as well, especially at diners, because you
Yes,
can
sir.
usually order
Yes, you can.
those items regardless of the time. So yeah, those are like my go-to when I go. Like I'll usually, these are the two things I order, right? I'll order the turkey club sandwich or the T-bone steak with eggs over easy and the home fries, right?
Yes, sir.
Either or. And obviously, if it's breakfast, like every time I go, or the few times I do go, like I'll switch off. So one time I'll get pancakes, the next time I'll get waffles, and I'll alternate that way. But always with either the hash browns or the home fries and sausage links, bacon, and the eggs over easy. Always. Just something light. Oh man,
Everything,
something
like
light.
with OJ, depending on the day, depending on the time of day, some OJ or some coffee, right?
Usually, cranberry juice.
Why?
For me, cranberry juice. For whatever reason, I don't like the quality of coffee that they serve
Yeah,
at those
it's a
places.
coin toss. It's
Yeah,
generally
like-
lean to the not so good. Generally
Yeah,
lean
like
to that.
I'll do orange juice, but only if I'm able to get like a cup of like water, and yeah, like because sometimes I find that their orange juice, it's very concentrated, like it almost is like too sugary, so like I kind of want to water it down a little bit.
Oh,
Like I don't know about you, but like
how
that's my
do you
palate.
drink some of it and add water?
No, I
you
drink
take-
some of the water first, and then I add the juice to it.
Oh, okay.
To
I
water
didn't
it
think about
down.
it that way. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I've tried it the way you've said it before, and that's a
You
bad
take
look
the
for me
L.
because it's like no, that's a very sweet what's it called, concentrated sip of juice. So
Yeah, you take
I
the
learned
L
my
at the
lesson.
front.
So yeah, I'll drink a bit of the water first, and then I'll pour the juice into it just to mellow the sugar content in my juice, and it tastes a lot better, at least for me. But if I'm able to, I usually go for cranberry juice.
Don't you say
and,
cranberry loosens the bowels to go to the restroom?
I don't know, I just find cranberry juice to be tasty. I'm not sure what it
I'll try it next time. Yeah.
what digestive purposes or how it helps your digestive tract. But I mean, I don't know. I like the order of operation for me, at least, is first cranberry juice as a first option, orange juice is second, and then apple juice is my last choice.
By that point,
especially
I'd
in these
go ask
places.
what's their fountain drinks.
As far as fountain drinks go, like, dude, like I haven't had fountain drinks in a while, but I think like my go-to would still be Coca-Cola as first. Maybe the second one would probably be like some sort of either Sprite or 7-Up.
Ditto. Sprite or 7-Up for me.
That's like a second choice for me.
Squirt
but,
is my last one if they have it.
but I think the Sprite, I think the tie right there would be first Coke, and then the tie between the seltzer and 7-Up would
Seltzer?
like be.
I didn't think
sorry.
about seltzers.
Not seltzer, I'm sorry. 7-Up or Sprite. I think those are in the same category as far as flavor wise, but I think or Sierra Mist, right? Because it's also
Yes,
a
sir.
citrus type
Mountain
of
Dew.
soda. But I would have to have that as a tie between those, that citrus flavored soda, and which would also my second choice, my other second choice would be Dr. Pepper.
The pep.
So yeah, those citrus flavors and Dr. Pepper are my second choice, either or, if they don't have Coca-Cola, right? And the second choice is what I'm in the mood for, basically.
Very
'Cause
true, very true. At the end of the day, it's what
I
you're in the
do
mood.
enjoy Dr. Pepper, but not as much as Coca-Cola. If I were to drink fountain soda more, more readily, like if I do drink it more often now, I haven't drank soda, I want to say over a month, because I think it was December, like around Christmas time,
The holidays.
the holidays, around New Year's, like there was soda, so I drank some, and I haven't drank really any
You've been going dry for a month, basically.
Yeah. I've been. It's been pretty dry as far as soft drinks go. I guess I wouldn't consider it like a Coca-Cola because I do drink flavored seltzer. You know, like the Ahas from Coca-Cola or the bubbly from Pepsi, right? So, those are pretty good. Like, I don't really drink LaCroix, but I think the ones that you buy are pretty good as well. The Polar, those are pretty good.
Yeah, Polar or Howes. Howes is harder, but because
Howes
of
is pretty good.
my location and my situation, I've been able to, what's the word? Be a taster for.
Oh, really?
Howes.
That's awesome.
No, I'm not professionally, just
No,
my
of course.
job environment to taste.
They're like, hey, have
The
some
variety.
samples, drink, and if you like, we'll place or you can place an order with us, right, or something like
Yeah,
that.
the coffee flavor, the vanilla cream, mango,
Oh, nice.
grapefruit, fruit punch,
Okay.
and the lime, lemon, grape,
Right.
blackberry, black cherry, lemon, and
Okay.
original. Original's still the best, bro.
Okay. I mean, now that you mention it, another flavor that I like in soda form is ginger ale. I do enjoy ginger ale. I think ginger ale is probably gonna be like third, right?
Number
Like,
3, yeah, number 3,
Number three.
same.
Like
For me, it's
and
Sprite. Anything like lime.
and I think it also has to do with where I'm at, right? Like if I'm in a restaurant or something like that, I don't choose ginger ale. I usually go for either the Coke or the citrus flavored soda or the Dr. Pepper. But usually if I go to a store like a bodega or like the corner store or whatever the case is, or I'm gonna get like a 2-liter bottle of something, usually
hard.
it's either because I'm gonna share with the fam, right, or whoever I'm with. Usually I either pick the Coke or the ginger ale. I
That's a
don't
good
pick any.
safe. Yeah.
Yeah. And like, say if I go to the supermarket, I'll go and get like those big jugs of cranberry juice or orange juice. But more,
Not bad.
yeah, the reason I do that is because do you like mixing drinks? Like I like
Yes,
to
I
mix.
have. I've had that. I've done
I'll do
it.
the cran
Yes, sir.
orange. I'll try to do cran orange or cran apple. I think it's really delicious. Or even the cran grape. I think that's really good. Like
I've
those
done
type
that.
of mixes. That's really delicious for me. So, I think we've gone over our time limit, Marcos.
Were we ever timed?
No, but I think it's
No,
about
I
that
feel like you're
time, bro.
looking at the sun's rising already.
Dude, no, I think it is, bro. I don't mean to hold you up, bro.
No, we're good. We're good. Again, I always like talk. Again, let the listeners know that this is what we go out in when you and I go off, on the phone. Like, again, this was like a tame, like a quarter of the time what we talked last time. Last time
That's
I
true.
have it recorded 4 or 5 hours on the phone.
Man, that's
I
crazy.
didn't even feel those 5 hours. Like I could have had a sermon or a church. Like, nope, still good, bro.
No, yeah, it's true, bro. It's true. I think like sometimes we'll go and start having these combos, bro, and it's like, dude, like 4 or 5 hours later, like, dude, yo, what time is it? Oh my goodness.
If we were on a flight to Mexico, we would have been there and still not stopped talking.
I think so, dude. That's a definite yes. That's a definite yes. I agree with you, 100%.
So with the listeners, hopefully they're still around. And
Yeah, definitely.
remember, follow us in the social medias, the YouTube, and anything else that we might post, all the polls, the questions, and wherever you guys are listening to us, give us a 5 stars, thumbs up, follow us, and
For sure.
and follow anything on the links that we might have any guests in the future or a Spanish episode. And
For sure.
I feel like this was a good tester for this other service. We've been jumping. It's officially a number 3 option right now.
Yes.
How do you feel it, Alan, after talking?
I thought it was
for
pretty
like 2
good.
hours?
I thought it was easy to maneuver. I don't see any hiccups while we were recording.
Let's see how it
but-
goes once we stop.
Yeah. Let's see how it goes when we stop and the editing goes through and it's mastered and mixed or whatever the case is.
Yeah.
And edit it, right? And we'll see what the final product is, and we'll make a better decision after the fact.
Okay. This is Marcos signing out. Alan.
Oh, this is Alan signing out as well.
Have a good time.
Good night, everyone.